update you because, as you can see, we've got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in the area. I've been watching this complex of storms move from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way towards the east throughout the morning. As you can see here, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for Smith and northern portions of Cherokee County until 4 a.m. Also severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of Anderson County here, and that's out till 4:15. Let's take a look at the Smith County storm quickly. As we can see, meteorologist Daniel Graves also in this morning with me, checking things for us here with the radar. And you can see anywhere from Tyler down towards White House and Mount Selman, seeing some pretty good storms, especially between White House heading down towards Bullard. You're seeing quite a bit of lightning out there, lots of heavy rain, and even some small size hail coming down as well across the region. Again, there's that severe thunderstorm warning out until 4 a.m. out there for Cherokee and Smith County there, so we're continuing to track that for you. And again, this is making its way out towards the east-northeast, so White House kind of getting ready to see the brunt of this right now, and as we move throughout the rest of the morning, this will be heading over towards Overton. Now let's go down south and take a look at that storm down there around the Anderson County area here. As you can see, lots of intense lightning here crossing over 287 now as you're crossing over towards 34 here, just to the east of Palestine, just to the northeast of Elkhart. Lots of heavy rain and hail also been reported. Look at the number of lightning strikes within the past 30 minutes. We're talking 415 lightning strikes with this. And here's a live update from our Storm Tracker dual pole live Doppler radar as this continues to drift off to the north and east. So right now the brunt of this is around the 84 area, but this is heading towards you in Jacksonville, over towards Rusk, getting ready to see some very impressive lightning, lots of heavy rain, and yes, even some nickels to maybe even quarter-sized hail with this storm as well. Let's see if we can get a broad view, Daniel, of this entire complex or line of storms that's making its way through. Now, this line of storms has been responsible for quite a bit of severe weather just to our west. Portions of central and north central Texas around Fort Worth and Dallas have received quite a bit of activity, including places like Comanche over towards Erath County, where numerous tornadoes touched down from this batch of storms yesterday over the past 12 to 24 hours. But for us, we're dealing with more of a wind and hail damage threat here as this continues to move through the area. Now, you're asking yourself, if we can take off the radar and the lightning. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, Daniel, but if we can take off the radar and the lightning here, I want to show you the overall warning and watch. All the counties here in this orange/red shady color here is under a tornado watch, and that's going to be out in effect through about 9 a.m. That includes all of us here along and south of the I-20 corridor here, and then, of course, the counties here in the yellow right across the central portions of East Texas under a severe thunderstorm warning. And as you can see, this is going to continue to lift on off. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning now through 4:45, and this includes you in Nacogdoches, Rusk, and Cherokee County. So this is a new warning now. If we can go in now and take a closer look at that, Daniel, with the radar back on there, we'll try to take a look at why they just issued this new warning. And yeah, you can see it. It's for that cell that's moving out of Anderson County now, about to make its way out towards the east. They're traveling along 84. So folks in Rusk down towards Alto, heads up that this storm with heavy rain, lots of lightning, and even some hail in it is making its way out towards the east. Take a look at this. Daniel has just put on the hail core. Wow. Over 2-inch size hail being reported there. That is almost, we're talking ping pong to over tennis ball size hail developing here with this storm just to the north and east of Elkhart, just to the east of Palestine there along towards that travel heading down towards Grapeland there. Again, this is headed your way in Cherokee County. So central portions of Cherokee County, be on alert for that. Velocity. Now, what thing that our Storm Tracker dual pole Doppler radar can do is it can detect the winds, not only the wind speed, but it can also show you where the wind direction is coming from. Winds that are going away from the radar show up in this red shaded color. Winds going toward the radar show up in the green shaded color. And notice here, we've got, when you see these two come together, we had an old saying back in the day, when green meets red, get under the bed. That usually indicated the potential of a tornado developing. But for us, we're seeing some broad rotation. Nothing too strong, but I am watching this area here for a little bit of a stronger type rotation area there. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. You can see here, this is just south of 84, just to the north of Texas 294 here. But you see right there where that green meets red in the brighter colors, that's what we call a couplet, or a potentially a signature that there is some rotation there at the storm here. No confirmed reports of a tornado on the ground or anything like that, but this is an area that we're going to watch closely. No tornado warning out with it, but again, some broad rotation showing up on there on radar. One thing we do have in this area, a lot of lightning here, some tremendous amount of lightning. Let's see what the lightning strikes are up to, Daniel, if we could, here in the past 30 minutes or so. and see what we can find out with that. And as you can see, as we pull out just a little bit, we've got quite a bit of lightning strong up there, indicating almost 500 lightning strikes within the past 30 minutes, folks. That's a lot of lightning. Tremendous amount of lightning going on. And whenever you see lots of lightning in a storm, that usually means the storm is intensifying or at least holding its own. So we're going to watch that for you very closely. Again, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning for our storm here in Smith and northern Cherokee County as well that we're watching. Not as much lightning, but still a very strong storm here. Again, White House, this is just to your south and west now. But if I'll tell you what, heading towards Bullard, over towards Troop, this is headed your way as well with, again, tremendous amounts of lightning and also maybe some hail as well. Let's see if we got any hail showing up with that storm here. I don't see anything too bright, but yeah, as you can see there from Bullard, 69, Mount Selman right now, probably getting pelted with some hail, at least pea-sized to some, maybe as much as nickel-sized hail. They're developing there around the 69 corridor around Mount Selman as well. So we're going to watch that. And, of course, we'll pull back here and show you, if you live in the northern half of the area, let's say north of I-20 right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings there, no tornado watches in effect, but we are seeing some rain. But that's mainly some rain and some lightning from time to time. The stronger storms and severe weather here, as you can see on radar, from noonday to White House and points to the south. Bullard right now seeing some very impressive activity now, maybe a little hail with that as it continues to make its way across 69. So if you're traveling along 69, be alert for that. Also points towards the south there where we have the severe thunderstorm warning going until 4 a.m. So this is moving towards the north and east. So folks in Tyler and White House need to be alert for that. If we can put a track on that, Daniel, on this storm here, we'll see if we can, this heads off towards the east-northeast there. We'll see what we got here. As this gets ready to head towards places like Texas 110, and there we go. Daniel's putting the track on that for us so we can see folks in Troop in the next 20 minutes or so. Sinclair City, you need to be alert that this storm is headed your way. Around the ARC community, be alert if we've got some strong storms making their way towards you. Wright City, watch out in the next 40 minutes or so. And if this holds together, this could pay you a in the Overton community here in the next 55 minutes or so. So that's one storm we're watching. Again, severe thunderstorm warning until 4 a.m. Let's go back south now and take a look at our storm in Anderson County where we continue to watch as well, where we have strong to severe thunderstorms making their way down towards the south with lots of lightning, lots of intense heavy rain, and even some hail. And again, look at the lightning there, just moving across there from Palestine over towards the east here, headed for you in Rusk. In fact, let's put a storm track on that one as well, Daniel, because this is probably our strongest storm right now over eastern portions of Anderson County, making its way out towards the east here. And as we put a storm track on that, you'll be able to see this is going to be heading off about 20 miles per hour or so, looks like. So as we get that track, Russ, you are in the heart of that storm track there. So again, this is going to be crossing over 69 there and making its way out towards the east. So Reclaw, you're in the community that could be impacted by the storm in less than an hour as well, and also around the Red Lawn community. Craft, you've got to be alert for that here in the next 11 minutes or so. Now let's go back to the hail core and see if we can switch over and detect any more of that hail. You can see, man, tremendous amounts of hail taking place there, over 2 inches in diameter. That's some very large hail that continues to come down, at least indicated in the clouds there. And here we go. Let's see if we can put a couple of street locations on there, maybe some street level mapping there, see if we can ID some of these locations mainly impacted by this hail core here. Again, this is Palestine up towards the north. We've got 84 running just to the north of this hail core, but just south of that is where we have some of the higher reflectivity showing where the hail may be some of the largest hail in that 2 inch in diameter here. And I don't know if we can get a little ID on some of the streets or locations in this community here, but again, you can see as going a little closer here, that is showing up there some of the hail core there. So watch out just to the north of Texas 294, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that as we go throughout the morning. So let's go out and get a full view of the viewing area here, and I want to put the radar loop in motion to show you where these storms are now and where they're headed to. So as we get expanded view, you can see lots of lightning stretching down from Tyler all the way down through deep East Texas here. And mainly this activity has been holding off to our west. But if you notice, it's been very warm. It's been very muggy out there throughout the morning hours. So we've not really had a lot of storms to come in and kind of interrupt our atmosphere, so to say. So as these storms are moving into a more moist and unstable air mass here, they're beginning to build up just a little bit more. So we're continuing to monitor that here. As you can see, some of the strongest activity right now just to the western half of the viewing area, but this continues to make its way to the east. So we're going to go in and inspect that storm in Smith County one more time here. I want to show you again what's going on with that severe thunderstorm warning cell there. As you can see, again, this is where our warning is in effect here for about another 15 minutes or so till 4 a.m. here. And you can see this storm continues to make its way off towards the east here. So places like New Chapel Hill, this is beginning to make its way towards the northeast in your area. White House community. This is just some of the strongest activity just to your south. But Bullard right now has been smacked down into the center of this system, and it continues to be that way as this is making its way out towards the east-northeast. So as Daniel puts that tracker on it, Troop, watch out. This is going to be in your neighborhood within the next couple of minutes. ARP coming up next for you, and also the Overton community here. Kilgore, you may be in the path of this storm if it holds together here within the next hour. So giving yourself a little heads up. If you're living in southern Smith County, northern Cherokee County, you're probably awake with us right now because you're hearing that lightning and that thunder out there, and you are waking up to see you are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 4 a.m. And as we check out the hail, this because some of these storms have been producing some hail with them, and as we glance at that, you'll see that right now the hail core is being really continuing to kind of grow a little bit now. So head towards the south on 69 here. Looks like that hail core trying to track off a little farther towards the south and east there. Mount Selman right now, you guys are in the path of that hail core as it continues to build in there. And let's see if we can get an estimate there around 1 inch or so. So about quarter-size hail situated there just around the Mount Selman community here. Now some of that is beginning to drop down towards the ground there. So keep that in mind. You may want to watch out if you're along Texas 110, planning to travel from New Summerfield up towards Troop this morning, maybe for work. Be alert that you may want to give yourself a little extra time and just hold off on that trip due to the fact that we've got a pretty significant hail core to the south. And we'll go back down towards the south and show you that storm that's also got a warning out for it in Anderson County. That warning goes until 4:15, of course, or 4:25 a.m., I'm sorry. But it's also got a warning that extends over towards the east now that goes all the way to 4:45. But look at this storm continuing to grow now just to the north and east of Elkhart here, crossing over 84. Lots of lightning. Again, there's that severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk counties here. And there's where your storm is headed, straight over between Rusk and Alto on 69. I've driven that route many a times, and yeah, I got lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain, lots of hail also headed your way, and this will continue to make its way off towards the east-northeast. In fact, as we can see, number of lightning strikes here, almost 600 lightning strikes here in the past 30 minutes. And this is, if you've been awake and looked out the window, you've seen quite the light show out there across the area, folks, and that continues to make its way off towards the east now. And also watching out there for locations just to the west of Rusk as well. And these are also making their way up with lots of lightning towards Jacksonville, over towards New Summerfield and points to the south. So if you're between Jacksonville, Rusk, heading down towards Alto on 69, that is going to be quite the light show. And eventually, we're going to have this hail core that's going to make its way towards the east as well. And let's take a look at that hail estimate as well, because as you can see here, this is some pretty significant hail taking place, man, just to the south of 84 now. That continues to grow. There we go, get a little better angle on that and show you what's going on here just to the northeast of Elkhart. You can see over 2.5 inches now in diameter. So this thing is putting down some pretty good hail now across eastern portions of Anderson County, southeastern portions of Anderson County. And this hail core may get very close to you along Texas 294, also traveling over towards FM 23. Watch out. Some large hail that's falling from this cell here as it continues to make its way towards the east-southeast. So let's go out and expand. Oh, well, it looks like we got a new warning there. Is that a tornado warning, Daniel? Okay, we do. We now have an official tornado warning for the storm we were watching. We showed you that potential rotation there as well. So we're going to get some more information for you on this here. But that storm now is tornado warned here for you, and that's why we were on. Of course, if you remember just a few minutes ago, we were showing you that rotation. So let's see if we can show you here between FM 23, Weeping Berry, over towards Red Lawn, Alto, Texas 294 heading over towards 69. That's where the tornado warning is. We'll switch over to velocity here, and you can see we've got a couple of locations here where there may be a little bit of rotation, but the area I'm probably most concerned at is right here. As you can see here, about to cross over the Anderson County border here, Dan. I think this would probably be where that rotation is some of the strongest here. Also, a very decent couplet here showing us here. Again, we had an old saying back in the day where we go, when green meets red, get under the bed. And that's because usually winds on radar, when they're in red, are going away from the radar site. When they're in green, they're going toward the radar site. So when they're very close together, you get what we call a couplet or rotation. And that's where we can kind of determine where that area is. So you can see that now, kind of a hook shake almost trying to develop there on the back end of this here. And so as we look at this here, a couple of locations here, but I'd say right in here is where our couplet is here, where you see that kind of indenture or curve. We've got winds. That's that warm air rushing inside of the storm. And on the backside, it's rain cooled. And so as you can see here, that would be kind of where I'd be most concerned for a potential tornado at right now. So again, this would be just south of Texas 84 here as you're getting ready to cross over the Anderson County border into Cherokee County here. So watch out, FM 23 here. You are going to run into some of that as well. So again, that's a tornado warning for Cherokee County through 4:15 a.m. as this kind of gets ready to cross over there. And so we're going to continue to monitor that. Let's switch, see if we can get a little bit more information on that as we switch over to our velocity scale here again. Want to showcase that again. The velocity is just basically winds, measuring winds going toward the radar site and going away from the radar site here. And so that's what we're going to monitor for that potential of some rotation showing up. Again, I think the couplet is the strongest right in this area here now as it continues to make its way off towards the east-northeast there. So this is to your south and west in Russ.
15 miles southwest of Russ.
Okay, about 15 miles southwest of Russ. Exactly where we were just thinking there. Exactly. So thanks, Daniel, for that. And as you can see, that would be where your couplet is going to be. Again, Russ is up this way. Here's to the south and west here. And that's where we're going to watch for that potential of a tornado there continue to make its way off towards the east-northeast. Now, this is radar indicated at this time, so no official confirmation. But this is the time where you need to get into your tornado safety place at this time. That means go to the lowest level of your home, get in the most centermost room of your house, and remember, if you have a bicycle helmet, if you have a blanket or some kind of a mattress to put over your head, you and your family do that as well. Get into the bathtub and stay safe. Again, this is you can really start to see this trying to wrap up a little bit more now. And it almost looks like it's moving more towards the northeast now here on the last couple of frames there. But we'll watch that here. But again, especially extreme northwestern portions here of Cherokee County, you want to be on alert for this as this continues to make its way off. But I would be alert if you are traveling, let's say, from Russ heading west on 84, that this rotation or this couplet here could be making its way northeast towards your area as well. So we're going to really monitor that very closely there. And I don't know if we could maybe switch over to our sweeping radar, Daniel, just quickly there. I want to see if we can get a different version of that. And maybe we can scroll down just a little bit here. We can see what we're looking at here. You can see, again, FM 23 is an area that we're going to watch out for. But it looks like right in here would be where that notch would be at there for that potential rotation as it continues to make its way on off towards the east-northeast there. So this is the area that we're going to watch. Again, a tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County now until 4:15. So as we switch back over now, see if we can show you velocity here a little bit and show some of those winds again. We're watching this pretty decent couplet right now. Right in here is what we're going to kind of most concerned about at this time as it continues to make its way off towards the east-northeast. You can see winds going away from the radar site, measured at about 40 miles per hour, winds going toward the radar site, showing up anywhere between 35 and 40 miles per hour. Now, when you combine those two, winds going away and going toward, we call that gate-to-gate shear. Or what does that mean? It just means winds are probably 50, 60, 70 miles per hour at least in this area. So even if we're not seeing a tornado on the ground, this is still producing quite a bit of wind damage probably there with straight line winds coming through. But at this time, a pretty decent tornado signature showing up there on radar, so that's what we're going to watch as well. So let's kind of pull out just a little bit, there we go, and show you this cell a little bit in motion again, moving off towards the east-northeast. And let's see if we can get an updated look at the lightning here within this cell as well here, because it looks like we're continuing to see that lightning growing just a bit with this storm. Again, tornado warning for you in Cherokee County. So just keep that in mind. You need to be in your safe place. Turn the TV up, way up, as loud as you can go, and go to your safety place with you and your family at the time, because the potential for a tornado does exist. Lightning continues to increase with the storm, now up to 600 strikes within the past 30 minutes. That's usually a good sign that we're seeing the storm continuing to strengthen just a little bit. Again, you can kind of see it's taking on that kind of little indentation there on the bottom end of that, and that would be where we maybe would consider a hook being here, and the potential for the tornado to be. And you can also see how it's kind of maybe taking that little bit of a right turn there in that last frame or two. And what that indicates to us is usually when these storms start to get that strong rotation, they start to take that little turn off to the right there, and that's where you're seeing this making its way over towards now as it crosses over into portions of Cherokee County here. So Daniel continues to put a track on that for you. Again, Alto within the next 30 minutes, Linwood right after that. But again, you can see here, this is going to be making its way closer towards Texas 294 and getting ready to cross over 69 into Alto community as well as we continue to track this cell. And again, you can see here where the warm air is kind of flowing up into the cell, and where the rain-cooled air is trying to wrap around the cell as well. And so it's kind of cycling, and right in there, is where we would say that the potential for some rotation is and what we're going to do there. So I don't know, Dan, any updates from the chat site on this storm or anything coming down on that? Okay, well, okay, now moving southeast towards 30 miles per hour. So pick up a little speed, and again, also taking that right turn just a little bit. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. And the good thing is this is kind of in a more rural part of Anderson County, crossing over into Cherokee County. So that's some good news right now. This is south of you in Russ. This is just to the north of you in Alto, though, but you need to be on alert in Alto. And let's see if we can slide this up just a little bit here, or down the other way. I'm sorry, Dan. There we go. And as you can see here, of course, get a little better view here. We're going to watch this bottom right quadrant in here for the potential of that tornadic activity here. So this is going to be just to the north of you in Weeping Mary, just south of Texas 294. In this area here, crossing just to the north of FM 228 here. That's where we're watching right now. Again, this is moving more towards the southeast at 30, so it's going to be traveling more towards the southeast there. So just to the north of Augusta right now needs to be in their tornado safety place at this time. Again, a tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County, and that's out until about 4:25. So keep that in mind. And now this is going to be moving off towards the north, or towards the southeast here, but watch out in Weeping Mary. If this holds together here, you can see this cell is kind of on that track there to move at least just to your north, and eventually that can include you in the Alto community as well. So we're going to watch that. Also, watching a cell here, again, just to the south of Rusk here. Again, this is the tornado warned storm here. Now, I don't want to, if we pull out and go to a wide view of the DMA, Daniel, I don't want to forget about anyone else. Of course, that's our big storm, the tornado warning that's in effect for portions of Cherokee County until 4:25. But again, we have a strong, if not severe, storm in southern Cherokee, northern Cherokee and southern Smith County as well that we're watching. Again, this one kind of looks like it's weakening, but still heading towards you and Troop and just to the north of Mount Selman. This will be crossing over into northern portions of extreme northern portions of Cherokee County. That is a severe thunderstorm warning cell, and that's out until 4 o'clock, of course. And then as we head a little farther to the south, again, you can see also that we continue to watch. Again, this storm here has that kind of lots of hail with that as well, between Mount Selman and New Summerfield as well. Getting up there again about that 1.5 to 2 inch in diameter hail that's showing up. So we're talking about nickel to quarter size hail developing with this cell as it moves to the north. But of course, all eyes on our severe thunderstorm warned storm around it, but right in the middle there, we're watching for that potential of some tornadic activity, which is why we have a tornado warning now in effect across portions of Cherokee County. In fact, let's look at the hail with that size. Man, over 3 inches in diameter. This, folks, is large hail. We're talking up to as much as baseball-sized hail developing right now across southeastern portions of Anderson County here. And right in there, we're also watching for that rotation possibly developing with that tornado. It's just getting ready to cross 294 as we speak. Let's go on a little closer to that, Daniel, here and showcase that a little bit more here. See here if we can do a little street level mapping there and highlight some of the towns or streets in that area there across the region here. So we're getting just a little bit closer there. There we go. Go down a little bit more, and you can see here, again, Texas 294. This is basically right on top of you now, right on the Anderson-Cherokee County border here, and this is where that couplet is, that potential tornado is developing right now. Again, when you see the greens and red gets close together like this in a tightly shaped area there, that means the potential of rotation, and that would be where the potential tornado would be located at this time, getting ready to cross over FM 23 over towards Texas 294. So as we go over, check out maybe our sweeping radar, we can show you here, again, some of that activity. There it is. Wow, look at that lightning showing up on that. Man, it is quite the light show. And definitely waking you up there. And again, tornado warning in effect with this cell as it continues to lift on off towards the east. If you're in Alto, if you're along Texas 21, FM 23, be alert. The storm is making its way towards the east, and you need to be alert for that. Again, right now, no confirmed sightings of a tornado on the ground, but also, I want to remind you that if you do happen to see, if we do have a tornado in this storm, it is probably most likely what we would consider a rain-wrapped tornado. What does that mean? That means that there is a lot of rain, heavy rain, surrounding the tornado, which is wrapped up inside of this cell. So you may not be able to see the tornado if you walk outside and look, but it's one in there, and it could be quite the damage maker there. So we've got to watch that very closely. Moving off towards the east-southeast there now. So, again, Weeping Mary, Red Lawn, you need to be alert. Alto, if you're hearing this, you need to be thinking about heading to your tornado safety place at this time. Linwood, Douglas, you also may need to be considering this as well. Again, remember to go into the centermost room in your home, the lowest level. Make sure you grab a bicycle helmet, a mattress, anything that you can use to cover your head and your family member's head, because a lot of times people are confused about how injuries and even deaths occur in tornadoes. They consider that the winds are the biggest danger maker for them, but it's more so because of flying debris that hits you in the head. So you always want to cover your head, because that's where we get most of our injuries and damage from, thanks to the flying debris there. But again, Alto, you're kind of in the line for this, and along that 69 route, that's what we're watching and waiting for the most to see if that cell makes any impact on you. Here's a look at the cell here. We can look at the history of it. You can see, again, kind of taking on that backwards kidney bean shape there, which is an indication that you've got that strong, what we call winds going into the storm and winds coming out on the backside, which is some of that cooler air there. And right in there is probably where you're going to see that potential of any tornadic activity. Again, this is crossing over FM 223, Texas 294, and making its way towards you in Alto as well. So anywhere along that route needs to be alert for that as it continues to make its way through. So let's switch over and see if we can take a look at that hail core again, Daniel, if we can show you that. Man, there's some tremendous amounts of hail now being indicated here on Texas 294, crossing over into portions of Cherokee County here. And in fact, if we put an ID on that, we could probably get an idea of the exact size of that hail that's continuing to kind of fall there. Now up to 3.5, nearly 4 inches in diameter here, folks. And when you start to see hail this size being indicated by radar, not only do we know we have damaging hail developing in this storm system, but another thing that we notice is that we have quite a bit of strong updrafts or winds that are going up into the storm. And as that's happening, the stronger the updrafts, the stronger the storm gets. So we have a growing or a strengthening storm right now, producing some very large hail across portions of eastern Anderson County or southeastern Anderson County, getting ready to approach you into Cherokee County. Alto, if you are awake at this time and you can hear me, this is a great time. If you have a carport or garage, take your time to head on out there now, move your car inside and get to your tornado safety place, because not only does this storm have the potential of a tornado, but also some very large hail. We're going to switch back over here. There's our velocity again, radar measuring the winds, and you can see here our rotation not quite as defined as earlier, but I'd say right in here would be still some evidence there of at least a broad rotation. But of course, right in here you could maybe make a case there for a pretty decent couplet developing there. Again, this is still kind of hovering over that Anderson and Cherokee County border there, but will continue to make its way on off towards the east as we continue to go throughout the next hour or two. Again, tremendous amounts of lightning, tremendous amounts of hail with this system, and of course the hail that size showing us some very strong updrafts, and of course that tornado warning that's out until 4:15 this morning here. And again, this is making its way out towards Alto, and this storm is continuing to strengthen as we speak here. So you can see as it continues to move out towards the east, this storm will continue to strengthen throughout the next at least 15 to 20 minutes or so. And the number of lightning strikes, again, now over 600 as it continues to make its way out towards the east. And let's get a little expanded view here, Daniel, so we can kind of see what's going on around this storm here, a little bit of what's going on with the atmosphere. We'll put a loop on the radar as well and kind of show you guys what we're looking at, because we don't want to forget about anyone else. That's where our strongest storm is at the moment here that we're keeping a close eye on here. And again, lots of rain, lots of light to moderate rain back here towards the north and west, but that's just rain. Nothing severe out of that, nothing too strong. You've got to go south of I-20 where we're seeing the severe weather. And let's just take a look here at Cherokee County again, because that's where our warnings are now across northern portions of Houston County as well. It's severe thunderstorm warnings for you as well now, it looks like as well. So let's go in a little closer again and showcase what we're looking at with that tornado warning cell. Again, and across Cherokee County, some hail and some heavy rain moving through Frankston over towards north of Jacksonville. But down to the south, this is our storm right there that continues to almost grow and take on that backwards kind of hook there shape. And so that's where we're watching for the potential of a tornado that could be on the ground. So if you're living there, again, this is not one of those times where you want to go outside and see if you can see a tornado and try to take a picture or anything like that. What we want you to do is get into your tornado safety place at this time. Turn the TV all the way up. Turn the radio all the way up. Find a way that you can still hear and receive our forecast, but understand that there is the potential of a tornado headed your way. Again, this is just to the north of, right now, directly on to Texas 294 here, crossing over that Anderson-Cherokee border, and this is making its way out towards the east. And Alto, right now, I'll tell you what, you need to be heading to that safety place right now. If you have not already left, you need to go to that safety place right now, because this cell continues to kind of wrap up there on the bottom flank of it, and as it makes its way off towards the east, you are directly in line for the potential of a tornado there. And as we show you here, you can see this storm system continues to kind of really grow right there as it crosses over the border. Let's check on the hail again with this system, because again, we've been watching some tremendous amounts of hail showing up. Again, one smaller hail core now across northeastern portions of Cherokee County, but it's this one here with the tornado warning out with it that's showing us some very strong updrafts, or lots of energy going into the storm that continues to create this large hail. This is, look at 4-inch size hail showing up now officially here. We are almost getting into softball size hail category here, folks. Now that's probably not all making its way to the ground, but best believe that there's probably anywhere between tennis size to even baseball size hail probably developing here as well with this. And this is just now about to cross over into portions of Cherokee County. So again, Alto, Texas 21. If you have travel, let's say heading from Russ down towards Alto, wouldn't do it right now. I would definitely make sure I'd wait some time on that one here as this hail core continues to make its way off towards the east-southeast here. And then as we switch over and show you, here's the storm again on what it looks like on radar here. And you can see where the most intense part, this is where the largest hail would probably be here, just to the north of Texas 294, crossing over towards FM 23. South of that, that's where the potential tornado would be, off to the southeastern flank of that as well. And in fact, as we take a look at the winds one more time with this, we can show you here that we're talking about velocity scans that are showing us here that if there is some rotation, it's going to be kind of right in here. And you can see, look at that, 50 miles inbound there, 50, 44 miles an hour. We've got winds there. When you average those together, you're getting anywhere between 60 to 70 mile per hour winds going away and toward the radar site, which would indicate, again, some decent rotation showing up there across the area. So we're going to continue to monitor that. So as we expand back out again and show you what's going on here, it would put a loop on this, and we'll show you here again that this is making its way out towards the east-southeast, but basically riding along Texas 294 there towards Alto at this time. And again, the potential tornadic activity is more on the southeastern flank of this. The hail core that's been producing some large hail, as we've seen, up to 4 or 5 inches in diameter there off towards the northeastern sections of this cell here. That will stay mainly to the south of Rusk, but anywhere between Rusk and Alto along 69, need to be alert. You need to be in your tornado safety place, and you also need to be making sure that you are understanding that this is a very dangerous storm. Lots of intense lightning with this storm, lots of hail with this storm. So even if you don't see a tornado, there's the potential of some dangerous weather making its way towards you, including some very strong gusty winds. We've been noticing winds going on either side from toward the radar and away from the radar, anywhere between 50, 60 miles per hour. So when you average that together, you know, you're getting winds in at least 60, 70 miles per hour moving through the area, even without the tornado there. So this continues to make its way off towards the east, and we're watching that. Also, still keeping an eye on our storm. The severe thunderstorm warning across southern portions of Smith County, northern portions of Cherokee County has kind of been allowed to expire. But what's that? Smith County warning here is gone, of course. But we're continuing to monitor that storm as it is between northeastern Jacksonville and over just to the south of Troup now, and that one kind of moving towards the southeast as well, kind of getting merged with this storm. So we'll watch this. This may kind of eventually turn back into a more of a damaging wind threat as these kind of merge together there. You can kind of see a little bit of a Boeing feature trying to show up there, but as of now, still that tornado warning for portions of Cherokee County as well. So let's go and switch back and show what's going on down there a little closer so we can look at the velocities here just a little bit. You'll be able to see again here. Looks like we've lost at least a well-defined look at that rotation. There's still some evidence of that showing up there right along Texas 294. Maybe more a little broad in rotation area here. Maybe a little bit more of a decent couplet trying to show up, but it's fairly broad right now. But anywhere along Texas 294 or heading up between Texas 21 over towards Alto, need to still be alert here. Again, that tornado warning is in effect until 4:15 across the area. So we're going to continue to watch that for you very closely. Let's get a expanded view, Daniel, if we could, and just show kind of what's going on, put a loop on the radar, and just kind of show you where the storm is and where it's headed. Again, you can see we had kind of an individual cell that kind of split off from the main line, and that allowed for another storm to kind of develop on its southern flank. And now we've got this line trying to reform again, but still some hints of rotation there with the storm as it makes its way into portions of Cherokee County. So that's why we're watching that for the potential of some tornadic activity. Lots of lightning. Look at this. over 1,000 lightning strikes here within the past 30 minutes or so. So this has been a prolific lightning maker and also prolific with the hail as well. And we've seen a pretty decent hail couplet that continues to show up there. And as you can see here, this is continuing to kind of straggle right along that Anderson Cherokee line there, right around Texas 294. And you can see where some of the largest hail showcasing there, anywhere coming down just a little bit now to about 3 inches in size, 3.2. So overall, we'll say anywhere between tennis ball to golf ball size hail showing up there, at least aloft. And some of that is probably making its way down to the ground as well. So some of the largest hail definitely showing up there as this continues to make its way off towards the east as well. So let's go back to the radar, and you'll show you again some of the areas that we're most concerned about here, and we'll expand out here and show you again, becoming more of a line. So you folks down towards the south of this warning here, northern Houston County, of course, under that severe thunderstorm warning with some of those damaging winds, but be alert in Trinity County as well as this continues to make its way right on through Grapeland now, heading towards you, heads up Kennard, over towards Crockett right now, beginning to get in on this. And again, the leading edge of this activity is beginning to make its way into Alto, but at this time not severe.
Another tornado warning for Cherokee until 4:45.
Okay.
Near Nixon.
Okay. Now we've got another tornado warning just now issued for Cherokee County until 4:45. And the indications that this storm we were watching just a second ago across the north. Remember, I said it started to look like it's making that right turn just a little bit, and there you go. Let's go in a little closer there, see if we can showcase some of the winds with that. And of course, this is near the Mixon area. Oh yeah, we can see that couplet, pretty very decent couplet here. If we could actually zoom in a little bit just to the northwest of New Summerfield, you could probably see what we're talking about there, where that green and red meet there. You know, it's the old saying goes, when green meets red, get under the bed, because that's one of those areas that you have to be most concerned about. There is a very well-defined couplet showcasing now just to the north and west of New Summerfield now. And this is moving off towards the east-southeast, I believe, Daniel, or Mark, is that the direct?
Southeast at 5 miles per hour.
Okay, southeast at 5 miles per hour. So it has slowed down considerably and is moving off towards the southeast at 5 miles per hour. So this is just to the south and east of Mixon here. And you can see it there. This would be right where we need to be concerned at. And if you're in New Summerfield, heads up, you need to be in your safety place right now. This is a very decent looking couplet on radar as it continues to make its way out towards the south and east there. And you guys are pretty much right on line there. Texas 110 from Blackjack down to New Summerfield, but really New Summerfield kind of right there in the path of that if we track that out from the south and east there for this cell here. So you need to be in your safety plan or your safety place right now. Look at the winds here showcasing 85 mile per hour winds, 15 outgoing there. So if you were to just average those together, you're talking about 100 mile per hour winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere there. And some of those winds are definitely making their way down to the ground. So that's an area of concern here. Again, a very well-defined couplet here, showcasing here with the greens and the reds meeting very tightly compact there, and that's what we're going to continue to watch there as that continues to move out to the east-southeast. So I've got a line of storms, but they're kind of a broken line of storms making its way on off towards the south and east there, and lots of wind showcasing here with this as well here, and you can see this is the area here right in there. You can see just to the north and east of northwest of New Summerfield there. This is where that couplet is there. Very well defined. So as it continues to track its way out towards the Texas 110 area, that's the area of most concern that we're going to continue to watch for you as it makes its way out towards the east. There's a track on this here about 5 miles per hour. That would be pretty slow moving, but if you're living in New Summerfield, that doesn't give you a lot of time, but that's kind of where the area needs to be concerned at. Again, you can see that well-defined couplet there with the reds and the greens. They're kind of meeting in between there. So that's what we're going to continue to monitor here. We're going to put some roads on this for you here and kind of track this out. And you can see, again, Texas 110, 79, that intersection there really needs to be alert. So if you live or know that Texas 110 and the 79 intersection is very close to you, that's where you need to be concerned. We're going to put some streets on here and some roadways. And you can see, again, here, County Road 4222 and County Road 4227 needs to be alert for that. Also here, notice here along Stallings Drive there, you can see you need to be alert in those neighborhoods. You need to be in your tornado safety place at this time. A well-defined couplet, or what that basically means is a tornado indicated by radar showing up right now. When you see the reds and the greens coming close together, that's the area of most concern. So you need to be in your tornado safety plan at this time as we continue to track this out there. A very impressive signature continues to work its way out towards the south and east. So New Summerfield needs to be on alert for this system here, and eventually areas points to south and east of that need to also be alert as well. Lots of lightning with this cell, of course, obviously off to the north, but the couplet itself is the main thing of concern right now as we progress throughout this afternoon. So let's go back to the radar here and show you again what we're talking about. Here's the storm itself moving on off towards the south and east here. And so New Summerfield, you're definitely in line for that potential tornadic activity here. And I think they've allowed that, yes, they have allowed the tornado warning with this cell to expire, but still has quite a bit of lightning and is producing lots of wind with it heading towards you and Russ and Alto. This is becoming more of a damaging wind threat here on the south flank, where our tornado threat is becoming more stronger off towards the north and east parts of Cherokee County. So in the northeastern sections, you're under a tornado warning. We've got tornadic activity, or at least indicated by radar, to the north, to the south. Severe thunderstorm warning in the central sections of the county because of some very large hail and some very possibly damaging winds that are making their way out towards the east there. Again, the tornado warning is the storm of most concern. So let's go back and check that out a little bit. Again, large hail with both of these storms, but we're most concerned with that storm just to the east of Jacksonville now, where the tornado warning is until 4:45. And again, this cell here, not only is it producing lots of hail, but again has a tornado signature, at least indicated by radar with it. So let's go over to the winds again and see if we can see that couplet. And yeah, it still looks to be pretty impressive there just to the east of Jacksonville. Oh yeah, tightening up just a good bit there, right around to the north and west of New Summerfield there. Again, just west of 79 there's a very impressive signature on radar here. Again, this is heading just to the west of Texas 110, and you can see here where winds again continuing to average around that 100 mile per hour or so, going towards and away from the radar site there. So lots of wind, even if the cell is not on the ground, but there is some high potential that we may actually have at least on radar, the indication of some very strong rotation showing up there as this continues to track off towards the east-southeast at 5. I think we just got there we go, off towards the east-southeast at 5 miles per hour here. So this is a pretty decent couplet again. New Summerfield, Texas 110, and areas just to the south and east of that need to be on alert for the potential of some tornadic activity rolling through with that cell. So we switch back over to radar. We'll show you again here. Points to the north of that. That's where the largest hail and some of the probably the stronger winds are that are just gusting out of the storm here. And that's going to cross to your north in New Summerfield. Lots of hail with that, although we've seen it decrease just a little bit. So it's probably an indication that some of that hail is kind of poured out of the system here recently, but that we're continuing to monitor that. Also to the storm to the south, where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for central Cherokee County. Lots of hail showing up with that storm still, and lots of lightning as well. Look at all the lightning still indicated there. But again, this is making its way. Looks like it's going to move mainly, there we go, just an update there, just to the south of Russ. But from Alto over towards the west and southwest need to be alerted. Not only some hail coming in, large hail, but also lots of lightning. Still over 600 lightning strikes here within the past 30 minutes with this cell as it continues to make its way out towards the east. So again, if you know, this is one of those times if you're in Alto and you want to make sure that the car is under a carport or a garage, might be a good time to do that because the potential of some large hail showing up with that, but also some gusty winds and lots of lightning. But of course, to the north of that is where the tornado warning storm is that we're watching here in the extreme northeastern sections of Cherokee County. This is south and east of you in Mixon, but areas just to the north of New Summerfield need to be alert for this potential cell as it continues to make its way out towards the east-southeast here. Not seeing as well of a defined couple. Let's go in a little closer if we can and see if okay, let's see if we see anything like that. But I don't see quite the couplet there, but it is something that we're going to watch there. Still some very strong winds aloft with the system here, but this frame here not showing that couplet as well defined. But don't be confused by that because sometimes these storms do something what we call cycle, which means basically the storm drops maybe a funnel cloud or a tornado on the ground, and then it lifts back up. And then it recycles and does it again, you know, and just kind of does what we call the hopscotch down the street there. So this is one of those things where you still need to be alert in New Summerfield. You still need to be in your safety place at this time as we continue to watch that cell move out towards the south and east. Now, the big storm that's producing all the prolific lightning and lots of hail, of course, down here towards the south. And also, this line really extends all the way south, well down towards east of Bryan and College Station. In fact, there are tornado warnings down with those cells as well. We've had over 2,300 lightning strikes here within the past 30 minutes. So lots of lightning. This will definitely wake you up if you are not awake once these storms make their way into your neighborhood. And I do want to point out again, pretty much all of East Texas is under or at least along and south of I-20, under a tornado watch until about, let's say, 9 a.m. or so. Now, this will get shaved back from time to time, but as this line moves to the east. But just be alert, conditions are right for the potential of tornadoes in some locations. So we'll watch that again for you throughout the morning here. But again, the bigger thing that we're concerned about now is this severe thunderstorm that's making its way through Cherokee County, and on the northeastern sections there is the potential of a tornado, at least indicated by radar. I don't think we've had any reports in the chat site by chance or anything. Okay, nothing coming in on that officially yet, but again, tornado warning for this portion of the storm that continues to produce quite a bit of lightning, and also the potential of a tornado just to the north and west of New Summerfield now along Texas 110. Again, our latest scan from the radar showcasing the winds here, not depicting a well-defined couplet as we go in a little closer here, but again, still some very strong gusty winds showing up with this here as it makes its way towards the east-southeast there, and lots of strong winds with this as well. In fact, I don't know if we can showcase some of those winds there with this here, the wind speeds coming in from this, but even in some of these brighter reds showcasing 40, 50 mile-per-hour winds being indicated by this. So still some very strong gusty winds with this, even as it moves out towards the east without that couplet. So you need to be alert for that as it continues to work its way towards the east-southeast. Again, that tornado warning is in effect until 4:45 here, so about the next 20-25 minutes or so. But of course, we'll continue to monitor that as it continues to make its way off towards the east-southeast. Let's go back out a little bit here and show you the radar here, and we'll kind of give you a loop of how this is continuing to progress, and off towards the east and east-southeast is where these storms are. Now, we're talking about basically two storms here. The northeastern section of this here between Troup and Jacksonville, mainly north and east of Jacksonville, though, is the potential where the tornado would be. Areas to the south of that, that's where we're seeing the severe thunderstorm, but lots of lightning, lots of hail showing up here. So the severe thunderstorm warning here, that's in effect, I believe, until 4:25 here for central and southern sections of Cherokee County. That may actually get extended towards the east, and then this is the tornado warning that's out until 4:45 as well. They did extend the severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45 as well. So we're going to continue to track both of these. Lots of lightning and hail. Let's see if we can go down and check out the hail on this storm now. In southern or central portions of Cherokee County. Again, lots of hail, lots of lightning making its way off towards the east-southeast here. And you can see that hail core crossing over now into western portions of Cherokee County. So again, from Alto down towards the Pollock community, maybe eventually this may work its way towards your area. You need to be alert for the potential of some large hail making its way to the ground, and even some hail being indicated as well, with our storm near quarter-size hail being indicated here with that potentially tornadic storm off towards the northeastern sections of Cherokee County. But again, this is where you're seeing the 2 to 3 inch size diameter hail showing up here in the southwestern portions of the area. So